think it's time for you to get your fucking shit together. You're throwing away the only life you have, so listen carefully.
There will always be small
Lazy
around you,
got
but it's
herself
just
negatively.
For years, I've been trying to take control of my vices. You just feel extra dumb when you try so hard with a setup like this and you still get sucked down. I'm just so sick of this, of feeling like these vices have control over me.
Hey, so I'm guessing you probably had another little spiral moment and life felt a little too intense, too real, and you feel like
trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, you big fat bitch, oompa loompa body ass.
okay, maybe not this intense, but you're probably asking,
What? Literally? What?
what is wrong with you? Why does nothing ever work? Nothing ever sticks, and
Why am I such a mistake and why can't it be freaking fixed already?
guess what though? There is nothing wrong with you.
Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations!
But for real, stick with me and I'll try to explain this in an interesting way because we're gonna watch some TV. Let me say these are mostly basic American examples because I could go off on a bigger tangent covering different backgrounds, but for an intro video, I'm keeping it general.
What are you gonna do?
Told you. We're gonna hang out, watch a movie.
Let me also add, I'm not a psychologist or a teacher, so please don't quote me on your research papers. Now let's get to what you've been waiting for. I'm gonna make you realize that you were never the problem. We're ripping off that Band-Aid today and getting down to the juicy stuff.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
The real healing. I'm talking a step beyond anxiety and depression, something so important, so pervasive, so 100% worth your time, or just watch because I have a bunch of corny little jokes and some cool editing to keep you happy. Okay, here is your answer. Let me explain.
I hate myself.
I'm gonna use the show Fleabag to introduce some key terms the way I understand them, and we'll use them again later. So real quick, for those of you that haven't seen the show, this is Fleabag. She's dealing with the loss of her best friend, Boo.
So happy to be modern women.
And she's been carrying a lot of guilt and shame since.
What's the matter? Just hay fever.
I just need you to know the difference between shame and guilt so I know you're following, because honestly, I thought they were the same thing, but I guess guilt is like when you feel responsible for an action you did that you thought was wrong. Like Fleabag feels guilty about sleeping with Boo's boyfriend because she betrayed her friend, versus shame, which is she believes she's a broken and all-around bad individual.
I have a horrible feeling that I'm a greedy, perverted, selfish, apathetic, cynical, depraved, morally bankrupt woman who can't even call herself a feminist.
I'm running.
Just in this video, we will see guilt as the self feels bad for an action the self did, and shame is the self believes the self is bad and worthy of hatred. Again, I'm simplifying things way too much for this video, but you should definitely look into these topics after we're done here. One more thing that'll be good to know for later though. When you experience an attack from both the outside world and your inner world, that leads to a shame spiral. Like when everyone bags on Fleabag, she sees herself rejectable in the social world and her perception of herself starts adding to the torment. That's the thing about shame. It makes it so easy for you to spiral and sucks you back into those dark thoughts. As we tour the body, I'll give you a not-so-scientific explanation of the regulation systems you got running inside you. Like this one here is supposed to make you feel safe and soothed. Here's oxytocin, aka the love hormone being produced, and you produce more of it by doing things like hugging someone, petting your dog, receiving a sweet message.
You see, petting your dog is one of the most relaxing things you can possibly do. It releases a hormone called oxytocin.
Everything is in its place and doing what it has to, and the adult feels all safe and soothed. You know why it's running so smoothly though? Because it developed properly when the adult was a child. While the system was under construction, the parent/caregiver reassured and soothed their child, and these interactions locked in as the emotional memories that the child would use to feel safe with their own emotions, to function properly as an adult, and to see others as safe, helpful, and supported. Take a look inside another adult who had a neglectful and traumatic childhood. This little puppy is sending all the wrong signals. So when the little baby was sad, angry, basically seeking care, the parent came in, responded to this negatively. Child recorded this moment and just learned that being sad, angry, seeking care is a bad thing, and created a fuzzy, anxious, emotional memory that eventually gives us an adult who can't properly process their emotions, sees others as sources of threat and more powerful than the self. So we understand. When the shaming person shamed a child for any reason,
Donut, you're so stupid!
This led to a shameful adult who believes himself to be a problem and blames themselves harshly for their failures.
You don't have a happiest memory?
So what?
How can you live without a happiest memory? Do you cry yourself to sleep at night?
I hear you crying all the time.
Oh, with joy, Squidward. With joy.
We're gonna cozy up and watch some shame developing together. Let's see how shameful words and feelings in childhood shape someone's identity and self-perception.
Elsa, what have you done? We will limit her contact with people and keep her powers hidden from everyone, including Anna.
Anna, I belong here, alone, where I can be who I am without hurting anybody.
Hey, stop talking to her. Yeah, that girl is your enemy. You're not here to make friends. Are you even trying? Never had a chance.
You fucked with my head. You made me think that I could skate best when my life was shit, and now my life is shit. You made that fucking real for me. And I am no one if I can't skate.
Okay. But when you fail, and you will fail, I want you to remember what it feels like. Because that's how I feel every time I look at you.
Seems like there's something missing in me that the rest of the world has. I'm exactly what Mama said I was, weak.
Only one of you can ascend to the throne.
It is my birthright.
Your birthright was today!
You know, it all makes sense now why you favored Thor all these years. Because no matter how much you claim to love me, you're gonna have a frost giant sitting on the throne of Asgard.
You're selfish and dramatic and weird. You drove your father out of this house. You're terrible. You, my dear, are a loser.
What is wrong with me?
He sees me for what I am, which is a horrible, stupid, dumb and ugly, bad and stupid, simple, self-hating.
And what exactly does shame have to do with you? This is your brain. Let's name it Barb. Barb is trying to protect you. But you grew up in a shameful environment, so Barb is flooded with shame all the time. But that doesn't mean Barb's not trying to protect you. Barb's just doing it in the only way Barb knows how. With shame. See, Barb is moving out of fear. Not like jump scare fear, but people rejecting you, not loving you. So Barb shames you to prevent you from making mistakes that will lead to people unloving you. Is this too confusing? Yeah, let's just unmask the shame in action. Ever feel like you're not confident enough or like you can't make decisions for yourself?
Don't say the wrong thing. Don't make the wrong choice. People are gonna look at you, they're gonna judge you, realize you're not worthy of their love.
I am absolutely paralyzed by decision making, and it is destroying my life.
Yeah, I sort of got that when you couldn't choose a chair to sit on.
Well, I didn't want to offend you in case you had a favorite.
Do you feel like you have to be liked, perfect, the best?
Change and hide all your flaws. You must be perfect. Unless you're a winner, you're only a loser unworthy of love.
I mean, you're just so pretty. I mean, you have a great body.
I teach yoga. Keeps me fit.
Oh my God, I love yoga. That's so funny that we're meeting right now because I love yoga.
Do you have a hard time trusting others and pushing people away and hurting them?
If anyone ever gets close enough, they won't like what they see and realize just how terrible you are. They'll realize you're not worthy of being loved.
I want you to come to California with me.
But you know, it's such a serious thing that you can't take it back, and now I'm stuck in California. Someone doesn't really want to be with me, just wish they had a take back.
No wonder I went mental, is it? When I've got the biggest screw-up in the history of screw-ups for a parent.
You suck. You're the worst. You're horrible. You're no good.
And so you probably shame your way into practicing unhealthy habits, bad patterns, and need the help of substances to temporarily soothe yourself.
You took some guy home from our date and slept with him? What is wrong with you?
Your dad would be so disappointed in the way you're turning out.
I will call the police!
See, at its core, you're on threat mode all the time. But it doesn't stop there because we know this shame creates some unexpected problems for you. Now people walk all over you, don't respect you, and you don't know what you like or what you need. And pushing people away means you'll feel alone most of the time and like no one really knows you. Basically, you've tired yourself out with all this shame. So then what's Barb's response to this? You get more shame on top of it all.
Pretty good at turning every place I go into my personal hell, so.
I'm floating outside of my body, looking down on myself. And I hate what I see. I want what they have so badly. To be perfect, To be loved from as many people as possible to make up for all my time spent suffering.
Because I'm the monster parents tell their children about at night.
It's like I was out of stories to tell myself that things would be okay.
You know, everyone feels like this a little bit and they're just not talking about it. Or I am completely fucking alone.
I'm not strong enough to deal with it all on my own. And I'm so scared that feeling is never gonna go away.
One thing is clear here, it's that you are not broken. Barb doesn't have the big picture, so Barb is trying all sorts of things, pulling you every which way, and it gets pretty confusing. Okay, so by this point you get it. You feel like other people are better than you. You feel guilty for every little thing you do. You feel guilty for feeling guilty. So we're gonna redirect and start the compassionate channel. Let's dive deeper and break down what this compassion looks like. Team, let's practice mindfulness. We're used to letting these thoughts consume us and accept them as truth, but it's time to realize we're not fully in control right now and our actions don't match what we really want. What is actually going on here? What am I actually feeling? Whatever it is, I'm just gonna sit back, listen, and not judge. Now we approach these thoughts with some warm understanding. Oh, I get it, and you're very valid for feeling this way. The shame responses have led you to think this way. Let's fully trace back what brought up these thoughts for you. Now that we've paused the shame, identified these thoughts, and traced them back, now we work on believing these two words. It's okay. It's okay. You can tell me what's going on. Big or small, the embarrassing thoughts, the scary ones, the ones you think are stupid. Girl, it's okay to just accept the moment happened, and these right now thoughts do not define who you are. We're gonna breathe. I'm gonna give you a little hug right now, and we're gonna work on these feelings 1 second at a time. Because part of being human is doing the best we can with what we know at this point in time. Trust. We're gonna talk this out, communicate our feelings, and it's gonna be okay. Okay, well, maybe your inner voice looks more like you, some kind of guardian angel, a creature. Use whatever makes sense for you. Hey, now remember, because you grew up and adopted this shame as normal, your brain's first choice is to automatically apply shame to any situation, like some muscle memory type of thing. So we put in some more effort at first and turn on to compassion. Don't worry, this isn't gonna feel like a long trip forever. Like most things in life, the first couple of times might not stick, so you're gonna manually catch the shame and practice compassion. But if you put in the work to catch it, you'll find this channel becomes way easier to understand as the proper response.
To get a pimped out ride. You've got to pimp my ride.
Yes, there may be strong triggers for shame, but we're equipped with what we need now, so practice compassion. You see, a real glow up isn't gonna happen in 24 hours, and you're not gonna be the very best version of yourself in 2 days. Everyone is different. So give it time and effort, and the frequency and intensity of shame will lessen, giving you way less to mend. And you'll realize those situations that once seemed very stressful and brought you so much anxiety may become way easier to manage.
I never want to be in that place again, ever.
Rebecca, that fear is always going to be there. But as a person who has known you for a long time, you're more stable and self-aware than you were. And you're a loving person who deserves love. One day, I hope you believe that.
Okay, well, that's it for my rant. I'll let you get back to your Barb so you can get to know her and tell her I said, hey. Okay, bye.